After your joining the Times Internet family, okay, tell us about the journey of launching ETMoney. How did that sort of start and culminate into what it is today, which is really formidable and very very interesting, as a great promise to everybody.
Sure. I think the underlying, mission, vision, or, focus has been about the problem that consumers are facing in the space, right?
Right.
Which is, if I really ask you or your audience at any point in time, do you feel financially stronger? There is this whole, awkward pause always, right? Because nobody is actually very confident about their financial.
Right.
And if you're not really confident about your money, or your financial life, you're not really confident about your future as well, right? And then we actually digged into and understood that why this is happening. And if you really look at the very core of it, it's the financial lives or financial journeys are broken because there is way too much friction that was earlier there. So if you want to start, where you should actually put your money.
Okay.
If you want to actually kind of invest, how do you go about it doing paperlessly, right? Or there is so much friction to actually do KYC and all those. Documentation is there, which is a big headache. And the third thing is, once you have actually kind of, bought a product or invested in, how do you manage it, right? So the whole journey from really starting what to do with your money to doing the transaction to actually managing it, it's really, really full of frictions, right?
Absolutely.
And then we said that, okay, we come from mobile background. We understand mobile tech. We understand technology. We understand building, scalable products. How do we apply our understanding to this problem that, Indians are facing? And that's where, the whole principle of, or the foundation of ETMoney got laid, that we have this power of technology, which can be applied to the problem at mass, at India level. The second big thing that happened was the opening up of the market in terms of internet audience. And the third thing that happened was, because we had this captive base that Times Internet has today, which is close to 500 million users, right?
Right.
It's kind of changes the surface area of impact that we can bring, right?
Absolutely.
So I think those are the 2-3 key ingredients that came together, a big consumer problem, which can be solved by tech and an access to a huge, huge consumer base.
I have really seen a lot of women that I know in my family and around me who have become extremely savings conscious, growth conscious, protection conscious in terms of, covering themselves financially. So tell me, when you talk about the genders, tell me if women are also increasingly becoming a big segment on ETMoney.
It's interesting, like you hit up on a very key thing. We do believe that women participation is a key to actually kind of overall growth of any industry. And we are seeing a growth on our platform of close to a 40 to 50% annually in terms of women coming in and investing.
That's wonderful.
And it's also a combination of, I think, what we have learned is that when women are coming onto the platform, there is a thought of having protection. So I think that, when in the family, both the man and the woman of the house actually invest, it's great for the family. Why? Because I think women come with a whole layer of protection.
Right.
And men would want to earn, take some larger risks. So as a combination, it becomes a very balanced, investment outlook. And that's very important because that actually ensures that you are actually generating wealth for the family over a long period of time.
And optimally
as well, right? Because it gets balanced out.
Sure.
So I think, women participation definitely on the rise, which is a great sign. And it acting as a balancing force for the other gender is good from a family perspective.
The user footprint now in terms of cities, in terms of age groups and other demographics.
So footprint, I already talked about. You're almost getting from every city in the country there is participation,
right.
And it's
700 plus.
It's 700 plus, and it keeps on growing because as more consumers come to know that there is a simpler way to start without any documentation. In terms of the profile, our large segment actually lies in the age group of 25 years to 40 years.
Okay.
And in this, if you really break down, we're talking about 2 different life stages, right? So 25 years, and there was this, interesting insight that we actually found out when we were doing our, user research, is that you know, it's only at the age of 24, 25 when people become serious about money.
Right.
Because before that, you're just starting to earn, and, it's like the liberation from all the, money constant environment that in the college that people would have seen, right?
Right.
So you don't really bother about I do want to save, I want to just splurge. So we said that, okay, let's stay out of, because if you're not going to save, you can't invest. It's as simple as that. Right?
Absolutely.
And when the age of 24, 25 hits, then suddenly the whole thing of either marriage or some serious financial commitment coming up, and that's where you start looking at it more seriously.
Okay.
So that's one stage that continues from 25 to 31, 32, right? And the second kind of segment, which is 32 to 30 to 40, has a very different kind of outlook to it.
Okay.
That there is either it is a double income household or it is single income but almost having one kid. So then the seriousness actually goes one notch higher. And the second thing that happens is there is some form of investment that would have happened in the past 4-5 years. So people are starting to learn from those mistakes that would have done and actually rectify those and look for like a larger, outlay. And in both the scenarios, what happens is people start with small, lesser money in between 25 to 31, and it becomes a larger corpus as you move to the next stage. Right. So I think these are the nuances, and we are kind of balancing that with the kind of products that we have on the platform. When you are starting off your investing journey, we have a very simple product called Smart Deposit. What it does, it is actually helps you park any money that you have in your savings account. Like a simpler way to look at that is it can act as a replacement of your savings account. So today your savings account gives you 2.5-3% interest rates. Smart Deposit actually gives you anywhere between 5 to 6%. And the risk there is negligible. The third thing that it does, it actually gives you instant liquidity. So whenever you want the money from Smart Deposit, with a single tap, you can get it back into your bank account.
Okay.
Which was earlier, few years ago, it wasn't possible.
Yeah.
So we innovated on saying that, okay, is there a starting product for anybody who wants to start journey? Is there a no-brainer product?
Okay.
That, why would you keep your money lying in savings account when you know that it's a sure shot way of losing it? If you think about it, keeping money in savings account is actually not really, because the inflation is higher. Your inflation is eating into your savings account on a daily basis. So I think that one product actually has been big growth in the first few years of our journey. The next, big thing that we did was we said that, the industry is not really aligned to consumers today. Okay. When I say that, which means that today offline an agent is actually selling you products which have commission baked into it, right? And they actually kind of end up unfortunately mis-selling because of commission-led structure, because there is bias that, if I'm going to make more money from a certain mutual fund, then I would actually peddle you that fund. And that has also created a mistrust, right?
Absolutely.
So if you really look at it today, unfortunately, when you get a call from an agent or a bank RM or this, you start thinking about what is it that this guy is going to actually sell me,
right?
There is this mistrust, right? All these are indication of mistrust. Even if the person is really talking in favor of you, you will keep on thinking that there is something hidden out there, which
some angle he has,
right?
Right.
So we said that in this we want to take away from when it comes to ETMoney. We completely shifted from saying that we'll stop taking commissions.
Okay.
We will not charge for transactions.
Excellent.
These are the two areas where bias can come in. We'll just remove that bias, and in effect, for the consumers, you get 1% additional returns when you invest via ETMoney.
Excellent.
Because we are not taking that 1% commission, we can actually give it back to the consumers. And there is a structure in the industry which allows us to do that, which is not give back, but essentially that there are plans that you can invest in, which are called direct plans, which don't have commission. So we actually, on ETMoney, you can actually invest in only direct mutual funds, which don't have commission. Very simply, first rule is that just keep the minimal amount that is required in the savings account to cover your expenses for 3 to 6 months. Rest everything should be actually invested.
Okay.
That is the basic, first rule, because if you're not investing, which means that you're keeping your money idle, right? Which is again the same problem actually. So best way to start, Smart Deposit is one clean option. without taking any big risk, very, very negligible risk, you can actually kind of start to get more out of your money right away. Second thing, if you've already invested in certain mutual funds, right, you can actually bring them on to the ETMoney platform. And if you're paying commission on them, you can switch them directly to no commission. So whatever is happening, you can start earning 1% additional return on your existing investments right away. That's another way to actually kickstart your journey. Third thing is that if you want to start investing in a new fund, we have something called as a mutual fund report card, which actually helps you understand a mutual fund in English. So what we did was, as I said, the discovery of a good product has a huge friction, right? Like, where do I invest? The whole journey that I talked about in my earlier part.
Right.
So we have created an amazing report card which analyzes a mutual fund completely in terms of the risk, in terms of the consistency of returns, in terms of a lot of parameters. And because it is technology driven, you can do it for a good number of mutual funds in the country.
Sure.
And that removes the complexity for you to start off where to invest. And once you've invested, the part of it actually automatically gives you performance insights and any problems that are there in terms of, or opportunities that arise, right? So for example, there is a talk about IPOs, right, all the time. But as an investor, as a small retail investor, you hardly get any subscription to IPOs, right? It is, you need to actually bid much more higher and all that. But there is a mutual fund which you can actually kind of invest in, and that actually takes the IPO. There's an IPO mutual fund itself. So we kind of actually start giving you those kind of suggestions based on how you would want to actually look at investing. So those enablement actually automatically happen as you become part of ETMoney. So they will actually, so these kind of suggestions come, based on your behavior, they will automatically kind of get surfaced to you as part of the journey. So it's like, you start simple, you have the option, all the tools available to you to decide, invest and start tracking. And then on top of that, there are a lot of suggestions that make your journey much more, growth oriented and ensures that you get like a strong market beating returns for your money. From a growth perspective, Pavan, some advantages that we have had, right? One is we've by design chosen a space which cannot have cashback. Like, if there are no cashbacks, which means that people will come to us if there is very high value, right? Like, I cannot actually give you cashback to try ETMoney out by law. So that what we are focused on is actually driving growth via immense amount of product innovations, simplifying user journeys, right? Instead of actually burning money on marketing like crazy, right? Because we believe if there is a pull in the market or pull for the product that we have made, only then we should be going out and actually kind of scaling. And what we have done is the growth has come on the back of very strong growth initiatives, which are product led, which are content led. We have a YouTube channel, which in the last 1.5 years of our initiative has crossed 250,000 subscribers.
Oh, excellent.
And there the focus has been around giving unique content, education-led content, which helps consumers really become more informed about, wealth creation.
Excellent.
So that has been one big pillar. Other big pillar, as I said, is about the product-led innovations that we've been continuously doing. So people come to us for that. The third aspect has been a very strong focus on becoming a part of users' research journey. Whenever you are actually thinking about investing, then how can ETMoney be part of that research journey, right?
Excellent.
And that's where the whole content, the whole, importance of driving uniqueness into, content or SEO-led initiatives have actually worked very well. So, for example, if you go on Google and search for best mutual funds, you will see ETMoney as your first answer.
So, we are talking about the first organic answer or the first ad?
First organic answer. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And what that does, right, is actually 70% of our users are actually organic investors.
Wow, that's excellent. So that actually will help you grow really faster because it's great word of mouth,
Exactly. So that has led to a very strong, word of mouth.
Wonderful.
We have a huge referral as part of our, growth engine. And if I really look at it, it's kind of great because it actually reduces our cost of acquiring a customer, and hence we can actually take more shots like not taking commissions and continue to do so for life, right? So I think it's just part of our growth strategy to ensure that we are actually kind of being very efficient and very strong, and we've been lucky to actually grow our numbers. In the past 5 months, we have doubled our user growth on the basis of these growth initiatives. I think wealth tech, 2 or 3 fundamental things, right, that are there. The kind of players who are providing service can be bucketed into 2. One is commission led, right, and the other is transaction led.
Right.
Commission led are the agents and all that, and I think we have disrupted them completely and got them into accepting that it's better to be aligned to consumers than mis-sell. So, and we have been rewarded with the numbers that I talked about, right? The second set, which is the transaction-led brokerages, right, also have the same problem of not being aligned to consumer interest. Like when you are doing a transaction on a brokerage, because the broker makes the money on transactions, he's not really bothered whether you're making a profit or not. Right? As it's as simple as that. Our thing is that there has to be a different way which is more aligned to the consumers, and ETMoney would want to be the disruptor in the transaction-led space and align everyone to consumer outcome. And that's where I think the wealth tech market will have to evolve into.
Okay.
So I think that's one big trend that is coming clear, because today everybody's excited about participating in stock markets, right? But even if there is a 5% correction, you will see that like a complete wiping of net worth can happen if there is no one who is as you earlier pointed out, there is no one who is keeping a tab on it as to how much risk is taken. So I think eventually everybody will have to figure out a way to help consumers decide what is best for them. And as you said, the customization of one will be the future of the industry in time to come. And landscape today is very, I think, super exciting, obviously, because of the whole momentum that we are seeing. And as an industry, we'll need to kind of innovate around those aspects. And we would be happy to be the first player in the space to align ourselves completely to consumers and bring about that innovation and disruption so that everybody is more aligned to consumers' outcome.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.